Hello there everyone, my name is Hypertuni and welcome to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about something a little bit different. It's more of a campfire story time kind of vibe, and I'm not really sure if this is the type of content I want to go for, but considering that there are a lot of guides out there reviewing the weapons and the Dusk shop, I just figured, you know what, might as well focus on the thing that I'm good at, which is commentary and generally just talking about random stuff or my passion for video games. So I'm sorry for delaying with that introduction. Today I want to talk about why gaming isn't fun anymore, or where the stigma that gaming isn't fun anymore comes from. Now, there was a time in my life, or in a lot of people's lives, where booting up a game felt different. It wasn't necessarily better in some flashy, objective way, nor was it revolutionary in hindsight. It was just special. Back then, you didn't really need a manifesto to play video games. You didn't need a meta build, a tier list, a video titled, do this before you start, just to feel like you weren't playing wrong. You just played the game. And somewhere along the line, that feeling started to fade. People often say it's because games are worse now, but for me, it's a bit more complicated than that. When gaming was a niche, it wasn't a cultural pillar or some sort of billion-dollar ecosystem. It was something that we owned, it was ours. You discovered a game by chance, not because of an algorithm. And you weren't forced to play it, you kind of just experimented on it. We were all explorers on an equal playing field. There was no hierarchy of skill or pressure to be efficient when playing the game. Psychologically, those first time experiences imprint on us because our brains weren't busy comparing the mechanics of 20 other zombie titles. We were just absorbing the world and experiencing it as if it was new. Those memories feel untouchable today, and I'm talking about nostalgia here, not because the games were perfect, but because, like I said, we were pretty new. And then came the shift towards content creation. I don't intend this as a critique for creators, but it does reflect the reality of how gaming in general has transitioned from a private hobby to a public performance. In the early days, people uploaded clips because they were obsessed with the game. There were no optimized thumbnails or engagement scores. Now, however, gaming is an outright machine. And even if you aren't a creator yourself, you feel, or at least this is what I experience from time to time when I'm playing a game that's kind of like famous, there's this indirect pressure that requires you to amplify the enjoyment, and that has to be justified. And it starts becoming a proof that you're good at the game rather than, just playing the game. And we also have to face the uncomfortable truth when people say that gaming is not fun anymore, that we ourselves changed. We lived through the transition and saw monetization creep in, so we feel the loss of the way things were. But for a kid starting their gaming journey right now, this isn't really a downgrade, it is their starting line. Companies don't design for nostalgia or our memories. They design for longevity, and longevity doesn't care who was there first. I just butchered my English there, so pardon me for that. Even the abundance of choice has changed us. Now, before Dead Frontier, I used to play a lot of TF2, and I spent like thousands of hours on that game. Partly because it was one of the only games my low-end PC could actually run. That limitation forced me to settle and truly appreciate TF2 for what it was. Today, when we have endless libraries, we don't settle. We nitpick, and it's difficult to value where you are when you're always wondering if the next game will be better. And ultimately, the bottom line here is that life just happens. Late night sessions are not as free anymore, and your body kind of remembers the lack of sleep, and your responsibilities tend to follow you to the couch and weigh you down. It is for these very reasons that gaming stops being an escape and becomes another form of monetized entertainment competing for your exhausted attention. And when a game fails to deliver that relaxation, it doesn't just bore you, it stresses you out. And why would you play a game that would stress you out, right? So basically, what I'm trying to say is gaming did not really lose its magic as much as people want to say that it's no longer as fun compared to before. We just sort of outgrew gaming. We outgrew the specific conditions that made that magic possible. Thank you for listening to what I have to say. I still personally believe that gaming is fun, but I think the stigma often stems from ourselves and our psychological mindset with regards to how games are operating nowadays. But in general, maybe we just outgrew it. And you can share your thoughts, you can share your opinions. Let's keep the discussion fair and promising. But yeah, that's my opinion on why some people, to a lot of people, or to older people in general, this is why gaming is not as fun anymore the way that we used to remember it.